Hi everyone, my name is Mike Bryan. I'm happy here today to have Trish Bates from Highland Oaks. She's the customer service specialist there. Thanks again for coming today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me here today.
And as we talked about, the purpose of these videos is to help someone have a better idea of what to expect when they're looking around at different buildings and trying to decide what type of care their loved one might need. And I've said this phrase many, many times that it's kind of like deer in the headlights. You're trying to figure out where you should go next, and this is a good way to have kind of a preview of what to expect. So first things first, where are you guys located?
Okay, well, we're in Highland Oaks in McConnellsville, Ohio. We're just down 60. The address there is 411 North State Route 376, McConnellsville, Ohio. We're right down the river, so we're not too far from here in Zanesville.
And what's the best phone number to get in contact with you guys here?
You can reach us at 740-962-3761. And that goes directly to our facility. You can ask for myself, Trish Bates, or Tiffany Comfort. She's also in the office with me in admissions. So.
Okay. And is there an email address if someone wants to email?
Sure. You can send an email to tbates, BATES, at highlandoakshc.com. Or you can send it to our referrals website, which is referrals at highlandoakshc.com as well.
Okay. And I know the main website, highlandoakshc.com, there's the contact form there, that goes directly to you, is that right?
It does. So if you go onto our website and go onto there, you can also, there's an option for you to reach out to us in the facility, and that contact information goes directly to myself.
Okay. And I know there are other links on the website, to Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn. So if folks are on those social media platforms, they can get in contact as well.
Yeah. You can also, while you're on there, you can search our photos. You can see the kinds of activities and amazing things that we have going on there. We often post our therapy rehab success stories as patients get to come in for their short-term care and then get to go home and that sort of thing. So there's lots of success stories on there, and lots of staff photos, residents with their staff members. So a lot of great content on there.
That's nice to be able to look at that too, because that's we can talk about your amenities and things like that, but when you're seeing real experiences that people have had, I think that can go a long way. Well, so describe the building for me a little bit. Approximately how many rooms? Describe the layout for me if you could.
Okay. So we are a 99 bed facility. We have about 40 private rooms and about, I would say, 20 semi-private rooms in that area. We have a skilled unit that are all private rooms. That's for our rehab to home unit. We have a memory care unit that is secure, so therefore it is locked. Patients are free to roam on the unit, but they will not be able to get off the unit for their safety. Right. And then we have 2 long-term halls that are for patients who are going to be staying long-term.
So so long-term and then short-term rehab, memory care component, and I understand some respite too as well, right?
Yes, we also accept respite stays. So if you're just needing a break, you're a caretaker, that's a very hard job. And we understand that, and everybody needs a little break. So we can also accept respite care. Also, we have contracts with several hospice facilities that if your loved one's on hospice, they'll give you a 5-day respite stay once a month. And so you can contact them and say, hey, I really need this respite stay. Can my loved one go to Highland Oaks for 5 days while we need the break?
That's good to know too. Okay. Now, if someone's looked at the website and so forth, maybe they've talked to you, if they want to have a tour, do they just give you a call? Sure. How does that work?
Yep, you can just give us a call and schedule a tour. We're there generally Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, but we will also work with your schedule because we understand that you're also probably working Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. So if you need an evening tour or if you need a weekend tour, you just let us know and you can call in and schedule that with us, and we'll be happy to accommodate.
So, other questions that I get relate to, what sets you apart? Can you talk about any certain programs or things about Highland Oaks that are maybe different than others?
Absolutely. So at Highland Oaks, we are in a small rural area, so we have amazing staff that are just like family. I myself have worked there for 27 years, and we have a lot of longevity in staff. But again, like we're like one big happy family. So it's like your family is taking care of your family as well. But we have amazing therapy department who will do everything they can to get you back on your feet and get you back home if that's your need. We also have a amazing memory care unit we call Inspirations, and that's our secure unit, and it's specialized for dementia and wandering based patients. They have their own specialized activity program. Everything is specialized just for memory care. All of our staff that work down there are trained for Alzheimer's and related training that they do every year.
That's good.
I guess, I don't know what else to set us apart. We're just, like I said, we're just like family.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think the one thing you mentioned already, the longevity of people working there, that says a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of buildings, I just know because I've seen it, turnover might be high, and having folks that have been there for a long time, they're seasoned, they know what they're doing, and so I think that's a big component too. And I understand there's maybe a happy hour too. Is that right?
We do.
Yeah. So that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, one of their favorites. Every Friday afternoon we have happy hour, where you can have an alcoholic choice or a non-alcoholic choice of your choice, which you prefer. And we have music, and we have just a good afternoon of socialization and music, and maybe a beer or two if you like.
That's right. Well, so I think that if someone they've maybe done a tour with you, they've done some research, and they find out, okay, this is the place that I want my loved one to go. Now, of course, they're going to have to sign some agreements. I understand all of that. They can take that with them and review it.
They can do that, and they can also, even after they signed it, if they would like a copy of their agreements, they can also have that as well.
And then, the question I get all the time is, how do I pay for my care? And I understand that, basically they could private pay, they can use insurance, Medicare, Medicaid. Now with Medicare, I know you do take some Advantage plans too, is that right?
Yeah, so actually at our facility we take a very large amount of Advantage plans that a lot of facilities do not. So here at Highland Oaks you can have Aetna Medicare Advantage, Humana, Buckeye, or All Well for the Medicare side.
Right.
They are now, CareSource now having a Medicare Advantage plan, in which we also accept. Molina as well, which used to be we're all managed Medicaids, but they're all coming out with their own Medicare plans.
Okay.
So we're in network with all of those. UHC, they have a dual plan for Medicare and Medicaid, so if you have both, then we can accept those as well. So that's on the Medicare Advantage side. Basically the only ones that we do not accept are Anthem and Medical Mutual. There's two are both closed networks, and we haven't been able to get into them yet.
Okay.
But basically, almost all of the rest of them, we are, that are in this area, we are in network with. We also have a special contract with the VA, so not only are we in network with the VA C&N, which is the skilled service side of the VA, but we also have a long-term VA contract. So if you are 70% or higher service connection, that will cover for your long-term care at no cost to you.
And that's also something I think is relatively rare in our neck of the woods too, with the VA contracts, and that's with the health administration. So yeah, that's an important thing. If someone has a disability rating, double check that. Or even another thing to think about is if they have a disability, it's based upon their period of service. They should talk to the local veteran service office and maybe file a claim for compensation.
Absolutely.
If you can see you can have that rating.
And you can have your service connection reevaluated too. And a lot of veterans don't realize that they can have that reevaluated. They just, like you said, they have to contact their veteran services area and, say maybe you were at 50% last, for the last 10 years, but your health is failing and whatever that may be because of, you can have that reevaluated and they may be able to up your service connection, and so you could be covered for that long-term care.
And I know if someone, if they don't have any service connection at all, then they can still use the VA pension program, and that's something it's important to look at as well. So plenty of different ways that folks can use to help pay for their care.
One other thing the VA does that I don't know a lot of people understand, even if you don't have that service connection of 70% or higher, they still offer 30 days throughout the year of a respite stay. So if you or if your loved one is, like, if you're having to have surgery or something like that and maybe you're not able to care for them and need that, then they will cover like a 30-day respite stay, even if you do not have that full 70% coverage.
And that's good to know. I would have to, I think that's underutilized as well. Yeah. So let's say someone has, they've worked through all of that, they figured out their method of taking care of this, but what is move-in day like? So that they've signed everything, kind of describe that so people know what to expect.
So move-in day can be a little different depending on how you're getting to us. So if you're coming from the hospital and you're coming in under a Medicare stay, then of course you'll be leaving the hospital and coming to us via either squad or family, however you choose to get there. So sometimes that happens later in the evenings, and so you may not get to meet everybody right off the bat. But your family is welcome to be there when you get there. We don't close our doors. I mean, the doors lock at a certain time, but you just let them know you're there and they can come in. But if you're coming in as a long-term patient from home, you'll call and we'll set a time for you to come in and make sure that everything's ready in your room for you. I always tell people if it fits, it ships. So if you want to bring what's comfortable from you from home. So each room comes with a standard hospital bed. It comes with a closet, bedside stand, and a recliner and a TV. So, but if you have your own preference, and of course, if you're coming from home, you want some comfort from home. So you can bring your your favorite lazy boy chair. You can bring your blankets from home if you like. You don't need to, like, we have all those items, but if you want to bring your own, bring it. Right. If you have a stand that your great grandmother gave you and you want that in your room, bring it on in, as long as it fits and it's safe and you're not something you're gonna trip on.
Sure.
We're happy to we want you to feel at home. So we want you to have those things from home.
Oh yeah, because those
hang your pictures on the wall. Bring whatever clothes you're comfortable in. That's a question I always get asked. Well, what should I bring to wear? Whatever you're comfortable in. We want you to be at home. So that's always our goal.
Okay.
So of course, when you do come in, the nurse will come in, they'll do their assessment. You'll meet the general floor staff right off the bat. Within the first 24 hours, our nursing team will put together a care plan, and they'll call and they'll want to meet with the family within 72 hours, just to go through so that you can meet the team. You can meet all the management team, and that includes the dietary department, the activity department, the housekeeping and laundry department, your nursing, the billing office, so that you can go through everything with your bills. And of course, you've probably already gonna be tired of seeing my face because I'm the first person you're gonna talk to.
That's right.
So, but other than that, like I said, we like to make sure that happens within just the first 72 hours. But you are always free to call at any time. Any questions, call in and ask anything. And if I'm not there, then they'll get you somebody that can help.
Sure. Well, I think that gives everyone a pretty good idea of what to expect on move-in day and just in general everything that Highland Oaks offers. So for anyone who's listening out there, if you have other questions, be sure to reach out to Trish, and I'm sure she can help you. But thanks for stopping by and watching this today.
Thank you. Have a great day.